Hi and welcome to this video. In this video we'll talk about functions in Python. In the last couple of videos we talked about installing Python, and then we talked about some basic concepts like variables, comments, lists, booleans in Python. And today we'll continue and we will talk about functions. So what are functions? In general, functions are just small piece of code to perform a task. And the concept of functions is not specific to a programming language. It's like a general concept in all programming languages. And let's imagine like a big puzzle. Like a program is like a big puzzle with a lot of pieces, and functions are these small pieces that make any program works well. So let's imagine, as you see on my screen, I have just an image of puzzle, and this would be a function, this would be a function, and instead of writing the code each time, so the function is just a reusable piece of code that you are going to call whenever you need it. And for example, if we want to calculate like the area of a rectangle or calculate anything else, we just need to write a function, and whenever we need it, we are going to call this function inside our program to perform the task of calculation. So let's just write an example of a function. So let's have an example about functions. So first, let me create a file. I'm gonna name it app.py Python. And our topic, let's start with commenting what we are writing. So we are talking about functions. And in Python, like in other programming languages, you would start a function with the word function, but in Python, you start with diff, and then, which means define a function, and then you write the name of the function. So our function is going to be calculate area underscore area. And then we put a brackets, and after the brackets we are going to use colon. And functions usually have parameters, and these parameters are going to represent the data or the information that we want our function to calculate. In this case, let's put the length and then the width, and now our area is going to be area, so it's going to be length times width. So as you see, Visual Studio Code is suggesting the names of the variables, and in Python we don't need to write the word variable. So now, after defining the variables and then writing the law or the mathematical calculation of the area, now we need to return this area, and we will return it using print. So print, there are many ways to print the result, but I'm going to use the if string, and the if string is going to be if, then quotation marks, and after the quotation marks we are going to write the area of the rectangle is, and then colon, and then we need to use parentheses. Not sure if the name in English is right. And we are going to type area. So now this is our function. We define it using the word diff. Then we give it a name and we passed parameters to the function. Then we wrote the formula to calculate the area, and then we are returning this sentence, or we are printing the result to the console. So now let's try to call the function. So I'm gonna type the function at the bottom, and as you see, Visual Studio Code is suggesting the name. And let's try, for example, 8 with 5. And we go to the run Python. I had an issue with running the code. It was giving me some syntax error, although everything is right. So I had to stop and check why it was giving me the error, and then I found it was really stupid because I changed the laptop and Python wasn't installed on the computer. So after installing it and running it, it worked fine. So let us check, run the Python file, and as you see, it's 40 in the terminal. And I think that was all about functions, defining it and calling it and using it inside code. In future, we'll have more use cases and more complex usage of functions. I think that was all you need to know to understand the basic concept and idea. If you have any question, please leave a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in coming tutorials.